Today's the day we're dropping off our beautiful little wax carvings to our local caster so we can get our rings produced. So I'm gonna go head into Manhattan and get them casted, then I'll probably pick them up later this week. So we just dropped them off and now we're going to just go back home because I'm a little bit late for work. I also acquired a coffee. Must have. If you don't know, I work fully remote, and so I need to get back home. That's why I go do my 9 to 5. I could talk a little bit more about that on this vlog too, and I'll just show you a little bit more about my day, my weeks, everything leading up to the process of launching this ring collection. So while we wait to get some of my rings back, I got a few gemstones in. Those are some really beautiful sapphires that I was so excited about. Some salt and pepper diamonds, which you just saw, this ear mold, and then some nails so I can model the rings. Typically, I'm able to drop off my rings and pick them up the same week. However, this week was a little bit of an exception. So I dropped them off on Monday, which you saw. Today's now Friday, and I still haven't gotten my rings, which is concerning. And at this point, I think I was just a little bit like, oh, it's a long weekend. Maybe they're just taking a little bit longer than normal. So I was just packing up the giveaway stuff from my last Star Charm giveaway and just really anticipating getting my rings back soon. Okay, so what's happening right now is today is Saturday. Yesterday, I packed up most of the stuff I needed to send out for the giveaway I just ran. Today, I'm just putting labels on them, and I'm going to ship them out at UPS. Other than that, I still haven't heard back about the castings being ready for the, I think, 18 rings. So I'm just waiting on that so then I can do any final polishing, cleanup, sanding, all of that stuff. And then after that, I need to do photos, both like stuff for the website, but then also stuff for like socials and just like, you know, more lifestyle, cute photos and videos. So that's the plan for the next 2 weeks, and tentative launch date is 2/11. So we'll see how good I am about getting all this done. While I'm waiting for the rings, I was just playing around with some ideas. This was like a Valentine's Day theme stuff that I made. And then I've also been thinking a lot about ear cuffs, and so I made a few of these and I'm excited to get them back. Okay, I just got back from the caster, got all of the rings back. We did have one fallen soldier where the ring got casted and it looks like the stone maybe popped out during the casting process, which sucks because this would have been a really fun ring, but that's okay. We have so many other cool styles that are here. So there's a bunch of different groupings of the rings. There's these double stacked stone rings, which are mainly a collection of sapphire rings. We also have these singular wave rings with a purple sapphire in them. They only have a purple sapphire. As you can see, like this is a really pretty purple sapphire one too. There's 3 of those. We have these very specific like cut kind of wave ring styles, which is really cool. This also has sapphire. There's a version with CZ. There's a lot of different sizes available within this collection too. And similar to our double stacked ring collection like these, we have a double stacked wave ring collection. This also has sapphires, really beautiful. Yeah, so there's just a lot of really pretty rings and I'm so happy with how they all turned out. Really the next step is to clean these up, take some photos. I have to do some weighing of them to determine how much they individually cost to have been casted, to factor that into our pricing. So I'm probably going to do some of that pretty soon. Oh, for a second I thought that didn't have a stone. I was almost scared. But I'm going to factor that into the pricing. I always factor in how much casting was, including the labor costs. So I just need to weigh them with a scale And yeah, I'll bring you along with exactly how all of that is really happening. And yeah, I'm just so excited with how they all came out. Here's like a few of the double stacked wave rings, how these turned out. After casting, they're so pretty. They have these yellow or like orange sapphires. There's some other ones, like this has like a gray brown sapphire that I've kind of been using recently. It's almost gonna like blend into the silver. There's also some fun CZ options with color, like this is a pink one, which I love. And then yeah, I think I should do all the others. These are like, there's 4 different subsets of rings within the collection. Okay, at this point now we are so excited to just finally see the finished result of the rings, which means I have to do cleanup, which is basically a mixture of sanding. I use radial disc, which you saw. Sometimes I will use sandpaper. Sometimes I use a silicone wheel thing. And then I just basically polish it, clean it with soap and water, and they're beautiful at that point. Okay, so I wasn't able to finish polishing all of the rings. I'm gonna finish that once my little tool charges. But until then, this area is dirty. I don't want to put anything on it. So I'm just gonna take some photos on my chair. So basically, to figure out the cost or price of the rings, I factor in all of the costs that go into it. I'm weighing them because when I get my invoices back from my caster, they aggregate the total weight, and so I weigh it so I can determine the amount of spend for the weight of the ring. I could definitely go deeper into how I do pricing for my jewelry, but to be so honest, guys, I don't think that I price 100% correctly. I definitely undervalue myself and the work I do, so can do it, but with that caveat. Either way, once I finished polishing, I took a bunch of photos. I honestly took about 3 sets of photos for this collection, ended up with using these ones with this black ring holder. I just liked how it looked better. The purple started to feel dingy to me, and then I just couldn't get it the way I perfectly wanted. From there, I had to move on to just doing more of the lifestyle photos. Okay, so for one of my photos I'm gonna take for like lifestyle, I want to do this thing where I freeze some of the rings in ice with some things of cherries, and I was testing it out. I did one with a sapphire as like a trial. It seems fine, but I'm still a little worried about freezing over a sapphire because it's just more expensive. So I think what I'll do is I'll do it on the CZs. This one looks totally fine. We're going to see how it looks when it melts. And it's just really cool to actually see it totally encapsulated. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, it came out, but like it was really cool, this one, to like see it in the ice. So that's really cool. And what I did was I put tack on it, like blue sticky tack on the bottom of the thing. And then I filled it up with ice so it would stay perfectly in position. So I think that is the way to do it. This is how the photos/videos came out with the rings and ice. I skipped doing stones because I was just a little cautious, honestly. And honestly, then I just had to keep doing more lifestyle photos. A little bit of an update, but basically from there, just started working on some of the collection material for socials. Like here's a bunch of stories and stuff I pre-made. Really love what I did with this one. I feel like my screen is dirty. I just feel like the marketing for this was so cute. Like I really put effort into it looking so nice. So made all of this, a lot of prep work. I'm also trying this out, but it's supposed to be a template to help you organize your post. So I basically have all of my posts, a lot of them planned out for the next month of February. I also have a full list of content ideas on my notes app, which help me create different things, but this is how I kind of stay on track. Right now I'm really focused on posting on Instagram, which is why this is just an Instagram calendar. TikTok, I kind of just do whatever I'm feeling during the day in the moment. yeah, Instagram is much more curated, much more focused. Okay, let's have a little check-in on how everything's going with this collection. I think the last thing you probably saw within me trying to vlog all the parts of this was either the pricing or the like photography and or like, you know, the photography for website and like content. So yeah, that's really where I've been. I've just been creating more content to promote it, doing try-ons with all of them, doing more photos outside just so I have a range of photography in case I feel like one type of the photography starts to maybe not be as like interesting anymore, overuse almost. And then I've also been calendaring out all of my posts, or at least trying to as much as possible, for like an Instagram, because I'm trying to get much better about posting on there and being consistent and trying to drive more followers and like sales through Instagram. I've always seen probably the best success through Instagram, so I definitely want to try to cultivate more of a community there. Otherwise, there was one thing that did happen this week where I realized I did the pricing for all of my rings, and I did put in a part of my casting price, like labor price, but I didn't factor in a big variable of it, so that increased the price of a lot of products, or at least the inputted price, from like what I paid to like what my margins would be, by almost like $10, which was not great because I thought that this collection would be a little bit more affordable given it had gemstones, which was really great, but that was not the case. So it's not like a crazy expensive collection, honestly. Everything's under 100 with gemstones or CZs, and so I think I could probably be charging more money. I'm not going to say a lot more, but I think I could be charging more. That's okay. I think right now I'm just trying to grow, reach more people, and then I think once I'm there and I'm making the volume I would like to be making, I can rethink how much I'm paying myself. I think right now it's a fair price, especially since I'm not doing the casting. There is work involved, obviously, in creating my molds and like the cleanup, but I don't think it's taking me any more than like an hour and a half to do anything, so it doesn't require like a crazy amount of money to be factored in for like how much I should be thinking about the price of my work as well. And yeah, we're just in a really good space right now. I'm just waiting for this launch to happen on Tuesday. Interested to see how it goes. I'm really hoping it goes well, honestly, but you just never know. I just feel like this year everyone's in a very low shopping kind of spirit, and that's totally fine because so am I. But I'm also just trying to think of how that factors into like me paying for all these things, whether it's gemstones, things being casted. It is very expensive, and so I like kind of really need to make 2025 a better year. Otherwise, I definitely need to reevaluate how much I'm putting into this brand and like the energy and effort. Maybe it's even smaller and I'm less worried about like driving sales and doing collections, and I just do a few drops here and there. That's not what I want to be doing, but I think it's like a we'll see, because it kind of depends, because I can't just keep dumping every last dollar and like not also thinking about the stuff I also want to do on the side. So whether that's saving for big things or whatever. I also live in New York, it's very expensive, and so I also have to think about that. All of that to say, everything's going really good. We'll kind of just have to see what happens, honestly. That's all I have. I think that's probably the end of this vlog. Maybe I'll share a little update about how things are going once it launches, but I think in terms of like prep, I'm pretty much there. And let me know, obviously, if you want to know anything more about the stuff that I'm doing. I'm happy to go deeper into any of that information.